Picture this. You're having the best month ever as a tech recruiter. You just found an untapped community of developers, finished a few rounds of interviews, and your hiring managers are positive about the candidate pool you brought in. The finish line is in sight, and you're almost there to close those positions. But oh no, your manager is here, and they have an uneasy look on their face. It's your worst fear. A company-wide hiring freeze has been announced. Dun dun dun! But you're not in this alone. As the global economy shows signs of slowing down, many tech companies are feeling the pinch. Fears of recession in 2023 have led to some tough decisions being made in an effort to keep businesses running. One of the most common steps being reducing the workforce through layoffs and restructuring. This year, dozens of tech companies announced layoffs and plans to freeze hiring indefinitely. So as a recruiter, what would be your next move? We asked Mahesh Srivastava, CTO of Louisa, a team at Goldman Sachs, and here's what he had to say.
The first and foremost is to remain candid, remain transparent about the reason why there is a hiring freeze. If you look at it, there's a spin to this entire aspect of freeze that one can capitalize on. So essentially, what the company is saying is that I'm actually going to protect my own employees and not hire more. So which means that you're a people-first company. So it's important that you actually have that spin to your entire story, saying that we're ready to take you in today because of a hiring freeze, because we're protecting our own company. And that's an indirect way to kind of position how people-centric the organization is. And again, it's important that you reach out to the candidate personally and explain the situation. So at times, emails have standard answers, standard responses as well. But having that personal touch with the candidate helps keep the candidate warm in terms of being able to say that, okay, it's not happening today. We'll relook at this after two or 3 months or maybe 1 or 2 quarters and exchange personal contacts to ensure that the candidate can also stay in touch with you. At times, the situation can get quite difficult. So which is where maybe the leadership team or the hiring managers should conduct a webinar for all the candidates who are in that pipeline and explain the situation as to what's really happening. So a lot of information can be passed firsthand from the founders, from the leadership team to the candidates in the pipeline. And it's important to keep those candidates warm. So it's about being transparent about where you stand as an organization.
So continuous engagement is the answer. But how do recruiters go about doing that? Is it worth it to salvage candidates in the pipeline or just start afresh? Mahesh thinks the best solution is a little bit of both, and here's why.
It's not necessary that all the candidates you keep warm will come back and join you, maybe 1 or 2 quarters down the line, because there is a possibility that they have got other options or they might have changed their mind about what they really want to do in their careers and so on and so forth, because we are living in a time of a lot of uncertainty and a lot of change happening as well. So it's important that we also build an alternate candidate pipeline as well. So we need to start reaching out to more people, build a candidate pipeline for maybe 1 or 2 quarters down the line, keep the brand image, the branding, the marketing of the company, of the idea going, just so that you can attract more talent somewhere down the line.
Now finally, what is the best way to engage candidates in your pipeline to make sure those incredibly talented people still come back to you once the freeze has been thawed?
The engineering managers reaching out to the candidates is a good idea. And I think since if that person was the person who's supposed to absorb the candidate into their team, it's good if they engage with the candidate if they really want that candidate to come back and join them in the future. I wouldn't say there's too much of anything. It's important that you do it at a periodic interval. Probably don't do it every week, but maybe every month, maybe, and ensure that you're still engaged and talk about what's really happening within the organization, any updates as well. This is also the same strategy that one follows when you have a candidate who is in your joining pipeline. Recession and job cuts, hiring freezes aside, But when you have somebody with a 30, 60, 90-day notice period, it's important that you keep engaging with that individual in the same way. So you invite them to maybe a few of your global team meetings where you talk about how the business is doing and how the product is evolving, and ensure that they're equally excited about what's really happening. Conducting a hackathon could just be a heavy lift, in my opinion. But if you're just looking at a way to keep them engaged and ensure that you could you kind of use that as a way to market your product and talk about interesting technology challenges that's present, that's a great way to actually present it to candidates in the pipeline.
So are you prepared to thaw the hiring freeze? Think you need a little more help? We've got you covered. Check out the complete episode of This is Recruiting with Mahesh Srivastava and let us know what you think in the comments. Happy recruiting!